Hi everybody, welcome to Sharing for Good. We have today a special guest, Andrea Neal from Forget Me Not. Andrea is an Australian national and is the CEO of Forget Me Not, a unique organization working in the sector of child protection. So Andrea, welcome to Sharing for Good.
Thank you very much
for being with us. Let's start with the story of your organization, Forget Me Not. How was it created and what is currently doing?
Sure, look, thanks for the time this afternoon, I really appreciate it. Forget Me Not started in 2005 with the idea of opening an orphanage in Nepal to support young vulnerable children who are clearly in need. So we established our organisation then in 2005 with opening an orphanage for 6 little children, little girls particularly. And then our organisation grew and grew as a model organisation. And then we also expanded our work into Uganda in Africa and then also into India in New Delhi. We work in Africa in this very similar way as we do in Nepal, but in India we do something very different. We work with slum children with educational programs. But back to our work in Nepal, it's really about the orphanage that really made the change for us. We also operated an orphanage in Uganda, and we rapidly realised that the children weren't orphans there. So we did a forensic audit on the money and on the children's identities and realised there was a can of worms. So what were we going to do? We called in the law, we had the operator arrested, and we asked for the credentials of that home to be fully investigated. Soon turned out to be very corrupt, even though to a well-informed Australian organisation it met the criteria, hence our funding. So once those children were rescued and reunified with their family, with our support they continue with schooling and education. We looked to our Nepal project with a very sharp eye. Even though it was again a model organisation, award-winning orphanage, we really looked deeply at our work here. And over time, with the establishment of us as an INGO here in Nepal, not just an NGO but an INGO, gave us an opportunity and a voice to really connect with the children. And bravely enough, they started sharing their stories one by one. And the big key story was that we're not orphans. We have parents. And the biggest issue was we want to go home. What do? You have 21 children touching you in some way saying, I want to go home. Auntie, please, I want to go home. I know my mother's alive. I know my grandmother's alive. I want to go home. So what were we to do? We thought, you know what? Our goal and our collateral and our message to the Australian public with sponsorship was let's give children dreams. Let's answer their dreams. So then we thought, it's time for us to really put our money where our mouth is. Let's give these children their heart desires. So we turned our organisation around. Instead of being a children's home and a care facility in that way, we decided to become a reintegration organisation to work really with these children and to get them back home with their families where they belong. So a very hard job, a very, very hard job, but all of our sponsors were behind us and they liked the idea of reintegrating and rebuilding strong families. So with their support, and work with our partner here in Nepal, we've managed to reintegrate those children and found them all with family and replaced them back in their family care. And now we look after the whole family to help look after those children individually.
Great. So was a radical change from orphanage-based organization to reunification, family reunification organization. I mean, you as a CEO, how difficult from a management point of view to pitch in to your donors and persuade them to stay with you and to support the turnaround you've been mentioning?
Sure. Look, I think the key thing was really humility. We found this news. It was true, we were tricked into believing that this was the right way to be doing things. And so once we heard the news, we just told the news. We said amongst ourselves into committee that we have to tell it all, tell it fast, and tell it now.